A beautiful Friday night in West Portsmouth as we get set for this Week 6 battle between the West Senators and the Minford Falcons. Dewey and Tim Daly along with you tonight. Glad to have you with us for a battle of the unbeatens within the SOC2.
Well, again, I feel like I've said this for now the 6 weeks in a row, but seriously, no clouds in the sky, beautiful weather. We're at about 73 or 4 degrees now, and even at the end of the game should be middle 60s. And you know, what a great setting here. I've been here one other time, but I didn't have this perspective. But I mean, we're over. It's almost like being and watching the Sun Bowl. If you ever had a chance to watch the Sun Bowl, and you look into that one end zone where the mountains are, and that's actually Mexico. Well, if you look at those hills over there, those hills are actually in Kentucky. And if you look over here to the east of us, you'll see the bridge. And I believe that's the Grant Bridge. But a great setting for high school football.
Minford comes into tonight's matchup 3-1, 1-0 in the SOC2, a Week 1 win over Rock Hill, followed up by a 22-21 loss in Week 2 at Chesapeake. Then 2 straight wins over Wellston and Northwest. Their Week 4 matchup against Oak Hill was canceled, so they've only played 4 games through the first half of the season. For Portsmouth West, they open up with the loss at home. That was 32-29, a heartbreaker right on the last play of the game as Fairland was able to score. Peyton Jackson, I think it was a 15-yard rushing touchdown to end it. Fairland won that one once again 32-29, but it's been 4 straight for the Senators. 31-14 over Portsmouth, 49-34 over Hillsborough, 49-10 over Wellston, and then only 6 days ago 24-21 at Waverly. So both teams on hot streaks. For Minford, it's a 2-gamer. For Portsmouth West, since Week 1, a 4-game winning streak.
Well, and the winner of this game survives and probably has an opportunity to compete with Wheelersburg for the league championship, because I can assure you, more than a loss, you've eliminated yourself in this league. I mean, and obviously Wheelersburg has dominated this league for more than a few years, but we'll see what happens. We really believe, from having looked at, and we've had a better look at West than we have Minford. West is going to do a bunch of different things, but it kind of boils down to almost the same thing. And really, these teams really are very, very similar in style, but they kind of do it a different way. You'll see Minford go to more of a spread gun type formation, whereas you'll absolutely see West Portsmouth in a double tight split eye, which is old school football. But it could be a high scoring game, but I really think first one to probably 21 wins this game.
Through last season, Portsmouth West leads the all-time series 46-15-2. However, most recently it's been a lot of Minford winners in 3 of the last 4. Obviously, West winning last year as they went undefeated and won the SOC2. However, before that, the last win for West was in 2018. So 19, 20, and 21, 3 straight for the Falcons. We'll go through the lineup quickly for the Falcons. You talked about their offense just a little bit. Quarterback Peyton Cottle last week in the 63-21 win over Northwest was 9 of 11 for 135 yards, 1 passing touchdown. However, 6 carries for 153 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for the sophomore. Jeff Pica, 13 carries, 197 yards, 5 touchdowns. One of our impact players on SOSA overtime this past Thursday. And then through the air, although a minimal passing game, Troy Rhodes, Bryson McQuate, and Mason Book all with more than 1, for some 2, some 3 catches on the night. Troy Rhodes, 2 receptions, 51 yards, had the lone receiving touchdown for the Falcons. It was a big win last week for the Senators, 24-21 on the road against Waverly. However, led the entire game. It was a 3-0 lead, and then I think it was
10-7.
So actually, I believe at one point Waverly was leading 7-3, and West went up 10-7, and that was the last time the lead changed hands. On the night, Cole Tipton, 3 of 9 for 32 yards, a very run-heavy offense for Todd Gilliland and the Portsmouth West Senators. Tipton, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, also had 13 carries for 77 yards and a score. Mason Parker, 21 attempts for 103 yards, and then a big night from Jeffrey Bishop from pretty much every aspect of the game. had 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown, and an 88-yard kickoff return for a score, a fumble recovery, and 4 interceptions. He did it all for the Senators last week.
Yeah, he did. If you were at the game, or if you had a chance to view the game at on YouTube, and we absolutely were. We caught. Of course, we were at Ohio State earlier. Caught the last, and of course you broadcast the game, but we saw the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, and then I've watched the game tape like 3 times, and I mean I broke it down into the small fine details, and there was a lot of goofy things that went on in that game, and I can tell you that I think that West Portsmouth was fortunate enough to win the game, but they made enough plays. The quarterback makes a long run for a touchdown, and you talk about Jeffrey Bishop and all of what he did. That if you think about that, that's crazy, and they needed every bit of it. You know, if he gets 3 picks, they don't win. If he doesn't return the kickoff, they don't win. If he doesn't catch the touchdown pass, they don't win. So I mean, if you're going to defend these guys, that's where you have to start at.
Seal is off here in week 6, second half of the high school football season is underway. Holbrook boots it away for the Senators, and it will be returned just shy of the Falcon 25-yard line.
McQuaid on the carry.
Starting offense for the Falcons up front, it's Owen Blaine, Seth Smith, Noah Pennington, Tyler Henthorn, and Blake Skeens. Quarterback Peyton Cottle, tailback Jeffrey Pica. Then on the outside, Troy Rhodes, Bryson McQuaid, J.D. Mattis, and Mason Book. Ball spotted right at the 25. Cottle comes out in the pistol. First down, here's the senior Pica straight ahead, just shy of the 30.
Again, just a simple inside play. They come out in a 2x2 pistol, and they're trying to spread. I believe what they're trying to do, from having looked at their stuff earlier, they try to spread you out so they can run. Now, most people think that you get in this type of stuff so that you can throw, but no, you create space and running lanes, and this Pica kid, he's all business.
5-yard pickup on first down, now second down and 5 from the -30.
I honestly believe that was going to be offsides till Mr. Skeens leaned forward, but they can't ignore that.
Senators come out in a 3-4 defense up front. It's Logan Hurst, Cole Windsor, Cade Woods. Linebackers Mason Parker, Jacob Tipton, Hayden Lohr, Trevor Fike. Secondary Jeffrey Bishop, Cole Tipton, Solomon Norman, and Reese Coleman.
Yeah, the issue that I have with that is that Skeens was drawn off sides by the motion, by them jumping. But no one makes contact, then that's free game.
Penalty moves the Falcons back 5, second down and 10. Three receivers to the field for Minford on second down. Here's Pica straight ahead. Won't find any room, brought down right at the line of scrimmage to bring up third and long.
And again, a very similar play, and with Minford playing an even front defense with 6 guys in the box, if there's 6 guys in the box, that tells you that you should be able to run the football. But in order to run the football effectively, they have to use the quarterback as a run threat. And my understanding is that quarterback is a 100-meter conference champion track star. Now, obviously, with 3rd and 10, this is more than likely a throwing situation.
Third down and 10. Cottle looks to throw. Under pressure, firing to the far sideline. It is overthrown, intended for J.D. Mattis. Falcons faced with a 4th down.
And again, you can tell that that's just not something that Minford is comfortable. That's not what they want to do. They're not comfortable with doing that. And if West Portsmouth can continue to get them in 3rd and longs and possibly get them behind the sticks, then they should be in for a pretty good evening.
Jeffrey Pica on to put it away for the Falcons.
Pica back to punt it away for the Falcons. It's a end-over-end punt. It'll be Bishop from inside his own 30. Now to the middle of the field, cuts it back to his left, flag down around the 35. Bishop now looking to reverse field, but he's brought down inside of his own 30.
I believe you're going to get a block in the back, and it wasn't, again, it wasn't necessary, and it wasn't overbearing.
Bryson McQuate on the tackle for Minford.
And again, the flag's laying at the 36. So a 10-yard penalty would put them back here at the 26. Now they got him for a hold. Oh, they did call him for illegal back.
A 47-yard punt from Jeffrey Pica.
That's a great punt for a high school kid.
Penalty will move the Senators even deeper into their own territory now inside their own 20.
We're going to take care of that for you here in just a little bit.
Just under 10 minutes to go here in the first. First down, Tipton will hand it off. Here's Parker across the 20-yard line all the way up to the 25. Nice pickup on first down by the junior.
Again, having seen these guys play before, if they have any kind of success with Parker running the football, he's going to get a lot of carries tonight.
Tackled by Colin Rice.
Over 10 yards per carry on the season for Parker.
5, second down, 5.
Pick up a 5 on first down.
And same formation, except flip to the other side.
Thomas and Bishop to the bottom of your screen on second down. Here's Parker to the right side, now to the right hash, still on his feet, and eventually dragged down just past the 30. Mason Bookend on the stop for the Falcons. First down, Portsmouth West.
Again, a little bit different a play where they're actually looking to hit that play. I honestly believe that was outside zone where he's looking at the edge and then making a read and decided that the play was outside.
First down and 10 from the 33. Here's Tipton on the play action, firing to the near side. It's complete to Bishop. He's forced out of bounds by Mason Book, just shy of the 45-yard line.
Again, that's a nice way for West Portsmouth to get part of their offense going, because let's face it, they're not exactly going to throw the ball 25 times tonight either. To be able to get that easy and get the ball in Bishop's hands, that's a great idea.
3 catches for Bishop last week, his first one here tonight. Here's a handoff to the fullback, Lohr. He stood up at the line of scrimmage, brought down for no gain on the carry.
TNT back at the pigskin. Randall Schreich and Jeffrey Pica.
They didn't give him so much as the hair off your head.
Bishop and Parker alongside Tipton in the backfield. Here's Bishop on the direct handoff, makes the first man miss across the 50-yard line, has the first down to the far sideline. It is eventually pushed out of bounds inside the Falcon 40. First down, Senators.
Well, and I can tell you that play wasn't blocked all that well, but he absolutely put a stick move on a kid and left him, froze him, and was able to bounce that outside and make a nice run.
First and 10, Senators at the Falcon 40-yard line.
16-yard pickup for Jeffrey Bishop.
Now this is, to me, is their traditional formation.
Senators out in the I, Fike and Tipton. Motion in the backfield. Here's Parker on first down. Sheds 2 would-be tacklers. Here's Parker to the near sideline, inside the 20. One man to beat down the near sideline.
That's a touchdown.
And he'll be marked out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Again, Parker, a little bit of dip inside, then have the speed to get outside, and no one playing outside at all for Minford. He's able to bounce that for a nice run. It honestly looked ball-wise like he got in the end zone, but he must have stepped out of bounds.
23-yard run for Mason Parker. First down, goal to go from the 7 for Portsmouth West.
What we haven't seen yet is Tipton keeping the ball, but this is probably going to be Mason Parker as well, for sure, to the right here. Yeah.
Parker
Touchdown.
right up the gut, inside the 5. Touchdown, Senators.
Just again, a nice little isolation play inside. He ended up cutting back inside. Backside linebacker's nowhere to be found, and he powered his way into the end zone.
No touchdown last week against Waverly. Parker's first here in week 6.
Great job by the offensive line. Jack Holbrook on for the extra point.
Holbrook on to make it a 7-0 lead for the Senators, which he does. 7-0. 7:31 remaining in the first quarter of play. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Ohio Health, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing Ohio Health provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at glocknercdjr@portsmouth.com.
7-yard rushing touchdown from the junior Mason Parker. PAT from Holbrook was good, a 7-0 lead for the Senators. Line drive kick will be fielded right at the 10-yard line. Here's Bryson McQuaid on the return for the Falcons to the far sideline. He'll make it right to the 40-yard line, just a bit shy. 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
McQuaid's got some quick twitch. He got a little bit of a burst. And he's not, you look at the kid looks like he weighs about 135 pounds. But if they get him the ball, that kid's got a burst.
Three and out the first time around for the Falcons. Their second trip on offense here tonight. Cottle will keep it firing to the near sideline. It's caught by J.D. Mattis. He's forced out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Pickup of 1 on the play.
Out of bounds by big time.
Again, I think that if Minford, and I'm not sure, the film hasn't shown a lot, but if they involve the quarterback in the run game, that'll open up some of that stuff between the tackles.
Second down, we'll call it 9 for the stingy Senator defense.
Minford out in the pistol, 4 receivers set, 3 to the field. Pika motions to a wing back. Here's Cottle to the left side. Tipton giving pressure. Cottle will just get back to the line of scrimmage, out of bounds to the far sideline. 3rd down and long for Minford.
And that play was made by Jacob Tipton, who forced the play outside, but didn't have the speed to catch him. And I didn't catch the number of the second guy that chased him out of bounds, but all he did was spill the play outside and forced him out of bounds for a short gain. That's well played. And right away they get Minford back into that 3rd and 10, which is not what they do best.
Third and long, Cottle looks to throw.
He's not open.
Firing deep down the far sideline. It is incomplete. 2 flags in on the play. Reese Coleman in coverage. Pass intended for Troy Rhodes. Flags are around the 30-yard line.
No question about the interference. He's not playing the ball. If he turns around, he probably catches the ball. Again, but just a simple fade route and him throwing it up. He's not open. I mean, that ball should have been picked off, but instead, because you don't play the proper technique, you end up catching a penalty, and Minford retains possession of the ball, and you actually bailed them out because they had no hope. but a new set of downs for the Falcons.
Falcons moved into Senator territory at the plus 48-yard line. First down and 10, Minford.
Trap.
First down, it's Pika to his right.
The ball carrier.
Short gain on the carry for the senior Pika.
Again, kind of what we would call trap at 4, trap at 6. Little inside trap, but just a slow developing play. And Pika really isn't that type of back where he's going to be able to use. You need a little more quick and a little more lateral movement. But again, a positive play. But again, maybe they're setting up the boot or the naked boot off of that with the quarterback.
Second down, Cottle will keep it. He's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Jacob Tipton. And on the stop for the Senators, 3rd and long for Minford.
Again, right back to the 3rd and 9. And again, not a positive play, but I'm glad to see that they've involved the quarterback in the run game. But what he needs to do is probably where the run is outside after the ball fake or after the zone read. And again, I can't tell if that's predetermined or if he's reading that or how they're coaching that. But I'm glad to see that's part of what they do.
Cottle back to pass on 3rd and long, forced out of the pocket across the 50-yard line and barreling forward to the 45-yard line, well short of the first down.
And I can assure you, getting knocked out of bounds on West sidelines is not the friendliest place in the world either. That kid's got speed, though. That quarterback's got speed. He's got a burst.
Gain of about 4 on the play, so 4th down coming up.
4th down and 6 for Minford. They're going to go for it here inside the West 45.
It looks like West is going to rush 3 and play defense with 5.
Timeout, Minford.
We're going to have a timeout, Falcons.
Yeah, I just think with West Portsmouth's style of play, you punt this football. I mean, you punt this football. I mean, I don't know if you need to get online and check or go read the book, but you punt this football. You haven't ran a play that's gained 6 yards yet. And again, you know, it's not like West. They didn't do a very good job of defending West the first time, but again, they're not really all that explosive either. I just think you punt this football.
5:37 remaining in quarter number 1 of this SOC2 league matchup here in week 6. First matchup of the second half of the season.
But if they have something prepared for this type of situation, then we should see something different here. Now, if they called timeout just to punt the football, that's pretty much a wasted timeout. But it doesn't appear to me they're punting. They are punting. They called timeout to punt the football. Wow.
Pika inside his own 45 to boot it away for the Falcons.
A great kick.
Here's Bishop from his own 12.
Big time picking it up on the bounce.
Bishop to the far sideline. He's pushed out of bounds right around the 25-yard line, which is where we'll get our second look at this Senator offense with 5:25 to go in the first quarter.
And again, give Bishop credit for one thing. Catching that football. That could have easily ended up inside the 10-yard line or worse. He actually makes a play like a shortstop or center fielder, catches the ball in the second or third bounce and actually turns it into a 6 or 8 yard return. They end up with the ball on the 27-yard line.
32 yards of the punt.
Ball spotted at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10 for West. Bishop and Parker alongside Tipton. Here's Parker right up the gut on first down, stood up at the line of scrimmage. Short pickup on first down for Parker.
Now, I will say this. With that action that you just saw, what that sets up to do is to be able to run the option off of that ball fake, and they had it set up. I've never seen them run the option, but they may have that in there.
No gain on the play for Parker. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for West. Now under 5 to go in quarter number 1. I formation. Here's a toss to the left side. It'll be Parker straight ahead. He'll shake off his own guy and get past the 40-yard line, running off of his own blocks. First down, West.
Again, just a little jab step inside and that little flicky, goofy pitch outside, and he's got some room. And a great job blocking by Mr. Bishop downfield that sprung that play from about a 4 or 5 yard gain to a 15 or 16 yard gain. And Parker's not, he's not the friendliest guy in the world when he's got his hands on the ball either. Let's see if they run option out of this, because they're showing it.
1st and 10 from the 44. Tipton, some miscommunication in the backfield. He'll keep it himself across the 50-yard line. Solid pickup on first down for the QB.
Honestly, I think the quarterback turned the wrong way, because they were running option stuff to the field.
2nd down, we'll call it about 4.
And he turned nothing, probably a minus play, into about a 7-yard, 6.5-yard gain.
Neon green gloves for Reese Coleman at the bottom of your screen. Senators in the eye on first down. Here's Tipton looking to throw. He'll be sacked in the backfield.
Grabbed his face mask.
J.D. Matt is in on the sack. Flags are down around the spot of the tackle.
Boy, just one of those things where the kid's going to make a great play, and he just does get his hand on the face mask, but he did it right in front of the official. So instead of about close to a 10-yard negative play, they're going to pick up 15 yards and an automatic first down. Just nothing intentional, just an unfortunate set of circumstances.
Starting offense for the Senators up front, Jack Geyer, Carson Carver, Nicole Rapp, Cade Woods, and Tyler Thompson. Tight end Trevor Fike, quarterback Cole Tipton, fullback Hayden Lohr, halfback Mason Parker. Out wide, it's Jeffrey Bishop. Solomon Norman works in as well. First and 10 for West inside the Falcon 35.
Prime time on the carry.
Tipton up to the Falcon 30-yard line on first down, pick up a 4.
Again, and what they're doing there is blocking the center back and pulling both guards, and one knocks, one kicks out and the other leads. And that's how they're blocking that when they're running outside. Now, when they run inside, I assume they're just zoning that. But again, a nice positive play on first down.
Falcons showing a 4-3. Wesley Zimmerman, Owen Blaine, Jeremiah Smith, and Logan Twinham up front.
Same formation.
Randall Schrank, Marty Sparks, J.D. Matt is the linebacker. Secondary, Bryson McQuaid, Jeff Pika, Colin Rice, and Mason Book. Parker on second down, close to the 25-yard line.
And again, the complement off of that is that zone, that inside zone blocking scheme that they run that sets up that counter action. Again, 3-4 yard gain, and now they're but again, with West Portsmouth being in the 4-down territory here, 3rd and 3 is not that big of a deal. But they need a positive play here. But no reason to get out of their game plan. I fully expect to see a run play here. See that tackle's eligible now? See he's eligible?
3rd down and 3. Senators need the 24-yard line. Parker has the first down and is brought down right around the Falcon 20.
Again, everything in the world says, with the motion and the flopping and the stuff, that says he's going to run right. And what he did was, Minford actually cornered the play pretty well, but he slid it back inside and picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And believe me, he's probably been coached to do that. This is where we might see the option.
Lauren Parker alongside Tipton in the backfield. Flags down before the snap. It'll be a false start on the Senators. That'll push them back 5.
And again, those are the things that can stall a drive when you're in a ball-controlled offense like West Portsmouth is. To get behind the sticks makes the hill just a little bit steeper. So those types of mistakes, you got to keep those mistakes down to a minimum. But again, it being on first down is not as hurtful.
First down and 15 from the 25. Here's Bishop on the sweep to the right side. He stood up at the 25-yard line. No gain on the play for Bishop.
Again, what Minford did was they did a great job, a great disciplined job of playing your area and had them outnumbered at the point of attack and was able to force the play back inside where the pursuit was coming. And I don't think Bishop gained an inch.
Ball spotted at the 24, so a 1-yard pickup on first down for Bishop. Sets up a second down and 14 with under a minute to go here in quarter number 1. Tipton on the keeper, makes Mattis miss wide open downfield. It's Reese Coleman who has the first down for the Senators.
And again, I didn't get his number, but the fact that the guy ended up going for the ball fake, and they're actually what you'd call a naked boot, that made it very difficult. That made it very difficult for that play not to be successful. Again, I would expect him to go back to the Parker and possibly Tipton combination here. Again, they're in that formation where they can run the option. That's just lead or ISO.
Lower on first down, straight ahead. Minimal gain on first down for Lohr.
Colin Rice, the first to hit him.
And that'll be the final play of the quarter. 7-0 lead for the Senators after 1. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
7-0 lead after 1 for the Senators. However, Portsmouth West threatening goal to go on second down from the 8-yard line. Been a dominant drive so far here from West.
Again, bailed out a little bit by the big play on third down and the penalty before that. So, Minford kind of hurting themselves and putting themselves in this position, and certainly don't want to fall behind 2 scores early in the second. But again, this makes it tough. This makes it tougher for Wheeler or for Portsmouth West. I mean, they've got them in a second and long. Although really it's goal to go, but I'm saying regardless, it's still hard for them to make yardage in this type of situation. We may see a throw here. Nah, it's power eye. Everything's going to the right. Yep.
Here's
Touchdown.
Parker on first down inside the 5, barreling his way into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. 13-0 lead for the Senators.
Again, the scouting report says when they go power eye, they're just saying we're going to run the ball right here, and we don't care if you know it or not. And they made that look pretty easy.
First time from 7, this time from 8 yards out for Parker. Holbrook on to make it a 14-0 lead. Tipton has the hold. Holbrook has the kick, and the lead is now to 14. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
There's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
This presentation of high school sports on Southern Ohio Sports Authority is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's. McDonald's proudly supports all area athletes again this season. Visit your local McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly, and be sure to check out SOSA's newly relaunched podcast, Overtime, presented by McDonald's.
Mason Parker from 8 yards out. Jack Holbrook with the PAT, a 14-0 lead for Portsmouth West. Line drive kick from Holbrook. Here's Mason Book from inside his own 10. Holbrook has a gap right up the middle, returns it all the way to the Falcon 43-yard line.
On the return.
Second straight strong return for the Falcons.
And again, you'd have to, some of that, we certainly don't want to take away credit from him, but all kinds of room in the middle of the field there on the kick coverage.
First and 10, Falcons.
First down and 10. Here's Pika to the right hash. Brought down for a short gain.
Again, being able to stop Pika in the middle.
Along with Windsor, combining on the stop for the Senators. Gain of a couple, call it 2nd and 8.
Apologies for the lack of a game clock. Our camera's having a bit of struggle here through the second quarter. Second down and 8. Cottle on the keeper across the 45-yard line, has a seam. Cottle, shoulder square. Touchdown. 54 yards.
Again, we talked about his speed before the game, and obviously he just demonstrated his ability to run. And actually, in my opinion, I don't think they were on life support, but puts Minford back into the game within striking distance.
Miles Montgomery on for the point after.
Miles Montgomery on for the extra point.
Splits the uprights, and the Senator lead is down to 7. 14-7 lead for Portsmouth West. 10:57 remaining in the first half. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
"54-yard rushing touchdown by Peyton Cottle. PAT from Montgomery was good. Lead down to 7 for Portsmouth West. 10:57 to go here in the first half.
Well, no question at this point in the game, somebody from Minford needed to spark their team, and not necessarily score, but spark their team in some positive way. And a 54-yard run by the quarterback on your option, that's a pretty good way to get things started.
6 carries for a $153 last week, well over 25 yards a carry. Here's a squib kick to the right side and will be recovered by the Senators on their own 40.
Falcons onside kick. Jacob Tipton right on the spot for the Senators.
Not sure I would have referred to that
just shy of the 40.
as an onside kick. Squib kick, yes. Onside. Now it's, really it's time for West to respond. Because they had things pretty much going their way, and then they get gashed.
Handoff to Parker on first down. He'll bounce it to the right side, barreling his way across the 50-yard line. Flag down back on the Senator 43.
Well, I can absolutely tell you what it should be. I'm not sure that's what the call is, but Mr. Lohr had 2 handfuls of jersey there on the edge. And to me, it was more than obvious. But the flag came from the other side.
So 1st and 20 for the Senators at the 30-yard line.
First down, here's Bishop on the jet sweep. He's brought down inside the 30-yard line.
Brought down by Jeffrey Pika.
Jeff Pika in on the stop.
Again, just a simple jet sweep, and Minford able to just string that play out, and just, be standing there basically waiting on him. And to tell you the truth, Mr. Bishop took a pretty good shot.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 20 for the Senators. Bishop in motion will be Parker on 2nd down all the way up to the 35-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the carry by Parker.
Again, putting West Portsmouth in a 3rd and 15 situation. And again, this isn't what they do best.
Official timeout.
Third down and 15 for West. Tipton play action, back to throw. Forced out of the pocket, rolling right now, reversing field back to the left, is eventually brought down in the backfield.
Tipton on the carry.
Again, a great series for the Minford defense. And if Tipton would have been able to break contain there, he had running room and was very likely to run for at least a first down. But again, give Minford's defense great credit for a great series of downs there.
Seth Smith in on the stop. Comes up with the big sack for Minford. Parker to punt it away, a low lining end over end kick. Here's Book from his own 25. Book gets a huge block to the right side. Flags thrown around the spot of the block.
So needless to say, that's a personal foul. So that's that'll put the ball back somewhere around the 20. And again, to me, that's football, but they've outlawed that type of hit. You're hitting a defenseless player. And again, what you have to do is you just have to get in front of him, let him run into you, almost like a screen in basketball.
Penalty on Brady Hass, had the huge block to the far sideline. Penalty will move the Falcons to their own 20. Here's Connell on the keeper on first down to the right side. Gets a block down the far sideline. Across the 50.
Again, just a simple zone read. And after looking at that before, I'm not so sure the other play. I called it an option play, but I think it may have been zone read too. I believe that was the same play they just ran for a 54-yard touchdown.
Falcons now in Senator territory. Connell, another keeper across the line of scrimmage, but not much after that. Pickup of one on the play for the sophomore.
Again, two ways of looking at that. You can say, well, we just ran that 2 times in a row for a big play. Well, you just showed it to them again. Now that, they've made a little bit of an adjustment to seeing it, what you want to be able to do is run the play that play sets up, which is the running back coming back this direction.
Second down, call it 9.
Second down and 9 from the plus 47-yard line.
Pistol.
4 receivers set, 3 to the left for Cottle. Pika straight ahead, fighting to the 45-yard line. Bring up about a third down and 7 for the Falcons.
Again, just running that simple inside zone play, again, for a short gain, 3rd and 6. A fairly big play here for Minford, simply because, in my opinion, they're not quite in 4-down territory.
Make some noise. Come on.
Pistol formation for the Falcons. 3rd down and 7, it's Pika. Hurdles a defender, but is brought down shy of the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and about 3.
Carson Carver brings him down.
All right, Dewey. What's the call?
On that one. Gain of about 3, maybe 2 on the play. Brings up a 4th down. Come on, Rob, we need you.
Timeout Falcons, their second of the half. 6:23
remaining
in the first half.
Falcons.
1 timeout left for Minford. West still hanging on to all 3. Strong drive so far here from Minford.
Well, again, the difference has been who? The difference has been Cottle. I mean, Cottle is probably the most athletic kid on this field. What I'm kind of looking at right now is if they called timeout again to punt the football, I'm in total disbelief. And I don't think they have. I think they're actually going through maybe what it is that they have ready for short yardage in these types of situations that they have scripted into their practice and are ready for, and just going over the finer aspects of that play. But I can assure you, what's the rule? The rule is if you're going to make hay, you want to try to make hay with the ball being in your best player's hands, which means in this case, the ball never gets out of the quarterback's hands.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Falcons need the 38.
4th down and 3 for the Falcons.
Here's Pika on 4th down across the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him short.
Wow. he set that ball down and then picked it up and moved it back about a half a yard. But he did move it back to the side where the side judge had it. If you're Minford, you're not very happy about that because where they originally set the ball down, to me, was probably a first down. But again, I'm looking at the side judge marking that ball, and they did bring it back to the 39. That's a tough call, tough break. And that kid ran hard, too.
Multiple stops on 4th down for the Senators last week against Waverly. Their first here tonight against Minford. West takes over, 1st down and 10. Parker straight ahead across the 40-yard line. Leg still chopping, brought down at the 42.
Again, let's face it, the last couple series, Minford's defense has been extremely stout inside. And Portsmouth West has tried to incorporate the jet sweep, and they've given it to him in the jet sweep, and they've used him as a decoy in the whole 9 yards, and they just haven't had any success.
100 yards on the night already for Mason Parker. We're not even through the first half. 2nd down, here's Tipton on the keeper to the near sideline, makes the first man miss and is across the 45-yard line. Marty Sparks in on the stop for Minford.
Marty Sparks on the play.
Again, Mr. Sparks just swallowed him. He said, that's far enough, big fella.
3 for the Senators.
Again, if you're West Portsmouth, again here, for sure you're not in 4-down territory. Okay, power right. Toss.
Toss to the near side. Here's Sparks across midfield. He has the first down.
Again, that, before when they ran that, they kind of ran inside. So I'm going to call that a zone play, but he's reading that to where they're trying to read that outside and really made that pretty easily. So give the West Portsmouth coaching staff a little pat on the back for being able to show that little wrinkle.
1st and 10 for West now on the Falcons side of the field. Parker across the 40-yard line, close to another Senator first down. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second.
Yeah, if you look at that play, what they're doing again is pulling inside, pulling the guard, he's trapping, and the other one's leading. Very similar to what Ohio State used to do with Carlos Hyde. It's what they call, that course at Ohio State, they call it the block O. But it's just a power inside lead, isolation type play. And let's face it, we all know Parker runs hard.
Flag before the play. Parker's run was good enough for a first down.
Offsides the Falcons.
Be offsides on the Falcons. That'll push the Senators up 5. 1st down and 5. 4:56 to go here in quarter number 2.
And again, that certainly makes, this set of downs a much easier task for the Senators.
TNT into the woodpile.
Lohr straight ahead on 1st down, loses his cap. Close to the Senator 1st down.
I just never could quite figure out how a kid could wear his chin strap loose enough to get it knocked off.
Lost his helmet on a play last week as well.
Yeah, what I'm saying is most guys, if they got their chin strap on the right way, you can't even talk.
Second down and 1. Here's Parker, has the first down and more across the 20-yard line. Now in the red zone.
First down.
Again, kind of a little bit of a delayed inside zone. There, almost a draw, an inside draw. I like the looks of that play. And again, Parker runs with his weight over his shoes. And he's looking to trade paint with people.
Into the Weavers' red zone we go. The Senators on the move.
Here's Tipton on the handoff to the far sideline across the 15. A spin move and brought down around the 12.
Mason Brook teaming up with J.D. Mattis.
Again, Bishop, he's obviously not the fastest guy on the field, but he's a very crafty runner. He's got great vision. I mean, that play didn't look like it was really going anywhere, and with a little bit of a Braxton Miller spin move, he's able to turn that into 7 positive yards.
Fike and Tipton motion to the left
they're
side of the
running
line.
left. Touchdown.
Here's Parker on 2nd down and 3 across the 10, inside the 5, to the far pylon. Touchdown, Senators. 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for Mason Parker, a 20-7 lead for the Senators. 3:01 to go here in quarter number 2.
Again, what makes this turnaround to me a little bit avoidable was the fact that the West Portsmouth defense set that up by getting a stop on 4th down and got themselves on a very short field.
Here's Holbrook to make it a 21-7 lead, which he does. 21-7, 3:01 to go here in the first half. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Ohio Health, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing Ohio Health provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at glocknercdjr@portsmouth.com.
12-yard rushing touchdown from Mason Parker. Holbrook boots it away. Here's Mason Book from his own 5-yard line.
Return for the Falcons.
And he returns it outside his own 30.
Tilton Rapp on the stop that time for the Senators.
Didn't Portsmouth West receive the opening kickoff?
Micah Barnes got in on the play as well for the Senators. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah,
Falcons
I think
from the 31-yard line.
I think Minford needs to respond here.
Here's Cottle rolling to his left, looking to throw. He'll throw it to the near sideline. It is incomplete pass intended for Mason Book.
Intended for Book. Eli Myers was putting the pressure on for the Senators.
Yeah, no question, Cottle was under duress, and really he was bailed out by that route and simply ran out of time, and his receiver couldn't stay in bounds.
Second down and 10. Cottle back to pass. Firing over the middle of the field. It's tipped and incomplete.
Broken up by
Solomon Norman gets a hand on it for the Senators. 3rd down and 10 for Minford.
And again, I think Mr. Cottle would like to have that back. He was very lucky that ball wasn't tipped and picked. And again, if you're West Portsmouth here, here's a chance for you to get off the field and maybe get the ball, very close to, say, the minus 40 or whatever, and with 2.5 minutes to go, you can probably get the ball back with 2 minutes. And again, that might not be ideal for West Portsmouth, but maybe they can make something happen.
Third down and 10. Cottle looks to throw. Forced out of the pocket. He'll keep it on the ground across the 35-yard line, well short of the line to gain. Fourth down and 6 here for the Falcons. 2:33 to go
Myers along with
here in the second quarter.
The stop makes it fourth down for the Falcons.
Timeout, West.
Take a timeout.
So they still have 2. So 2 timeouts, and they're going to get the ball back with about 2:20, 2:25. And I'm going to guess somewhere around the 35 or 40. Although, if I remember right, the fullback, Pika, was the kicker in his first punt. He hammered it. And, I mean, it wasn't no cheapie either. He hammered it. But remember now, you got Mr. Bishop back there that again, he's a pretty crafty football player.
Pika to punt it away. Bishop spotted up at his own 30.
Pika's punt
Towering
away.
kick from Pika. And it will be downed right around the 31-yard line by Mason Book. West, 2 timeouts. And about 68 yards to go with 2:25 here in quarter number 2.
Well, and I think, again, too, with Portsmouth West getting the ball back the second half, again, your number one goal here is to use the clock and run the clock out. I don't think necessarily they have to take shots to score, but if they were, if they run the football and get a 20-yard run and maybe get into the plus side of the field, maybe then they can change gears. But again, here, to me, this is more of a 4-minute drive than a 2-minute drive.
Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. First down and 10 for West. Tipton looking to throw, firing to the near sideline. It's caught. Mason Parker out into space. They're not going to get him. 68 yards to the house. Touchdown, Senators.
I guess that shows you, what do I know?
A 4-touchdown first half for the junior Parker. 27-7 lead.
There's a
Flags
flag.
are back down around the 35.
Uh-oh. Hang on a minute.
Where you got? Illegal man downfield. Look where the flag was thrown.
Ineligible man downfield on the Senators. Oh, that was pretty.
Illegal man downfield, take the touchdown off the board, -5. Big play nonetheless on first down from Portsmouth West.
Again, I'm going to repeat what I said before. I honestly believe that they should be in more of a 4-minute drive type gear, as especially now than the 2-minute drive. But let's face it, Minford just dodged a huge bullet. If they get that hill gets really steep. Wow.
First down, here's Tipton back to pass, flag down on the play. It's Tipton with the catch to the near sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 30, so short pickup on first down, flag down at the 27.
I don't see the flag, do I? Near side?
Tackle.
It'll be a holding call on the Senators that'll push them back 10 more. It'll be first down and 25. From inside their own 20.
And Minford has 1 timeout. So they can force a punt here. Okay, this obviously run to the right.
Here's Parker on first down across the 25-yard line, trucking ahead just shy of the 30.
Parker keeping the legs driving.
If I was West Portsmouth, I'd go ahead and keep that running play, but I think I'd be going from the line.
Gain of 17
Still
on
2
the play.
timeouts remaining for the
Brings
Senators.
up a
Clock
second
under
down.
90
We'll call it
seconds.
13 for the Senators.
But I think Minford would be tickled to death to get off the field with nothing more happening.
Here's a toss to the near sideline. Parker making the first man miss and is pushed out of bounds just shy of the 35.
The ball carrier. Knocked out of bounds by Wesley Zimmerman.
Absolutely electric PA work here at the Rock. Which I might add, one of the coolest high school football settings I think I've ever seen here at Portsmouth West.
Now, this is a really, really comfortable place and a great setting. And
here's a double reverse. Bishop to the far sideline. Not a lot of room as he's pursued, tackled by nearly the entire Falcon defense.
Falcons, timeout on the field.
And again, we've been treated extremely well by the Todd Gillen and the athletic department here, and we couldn't feel more at home to be able to come down here and provide this service.
Final timeout of the half used by the Falcons. 4th down and 7 coming up for Portsmouth West. 1:01 remaining in the second quarter. Once again, apologies for the lack of a game clock. We're working through our camera struggles here, strictly on the game clock.
Again, and again, this is just a very small thing, but give Mr. Bishop a little pat on the back for being smart enough to not force that play to the outside. And what he ends up doing is he ends up taking Minford's last time out from him by staying in bounds. And if I'm not mistaken, Parker's got a pretty live leg, too.
Parker on to kick it away for the Senators.
Parker boots it away. It's Mason Book back deep for the Falcons. This one will trickle out of bounds right at the Falcon 35-yard line. No timeouts, 52 seconds. 65 yards to go for the Falcons.
Again, if you're West Portsmouth, I don't think that you have to play your front 7 any different here, but you certainly want to play your shell very loose. Well, they're not.
First down, Cottle back to throw. A 3-man rush from the Senators. Cottle rolling to the left side. Pass is complete to Mason Book right around the 43-yard line.
And again, they can't stop the clock. It's not a first down, although they're going to call from the line.
Trevor Fike in coverage.
He caught that at about 40 seconds, so it took him about 10 or 12 seconds to get. It took him about 12 or 13 seconds to get lined up and run
Second down,
play.
Falcons.
Pick up of 8, 2nd down and 2. Cottle now rolling to his right. He'll keep it himself across the 45-yard line, has the first down to midfield.
Again, 18 seconds left. Spot the ball, call the play, move the sticks.
With help from his partner, Cole Windsor.
Clock continues to roll now, under 15 seconds to go. Most likely the final play of the half right here.
Yeah, that cost him 10 seconds of calling that even with the stop clock.
Cottle firing over the middle. Pass is incomplete. That'll stop the clock at 3 seconds. So Minford will get one more shot here from midfield.
I think we had a reptile there in the middle of the field.
Solomon Norman in coverage.
And again, if he catches that ball, that's the last play of the half.
You know how to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
You're going to tell us.
A crocodile has a pointy snout.
Oh, you're trying to actually be intelligent here.
An alligator has a
square,
rectangle-ish.
I thought you were going to enlighten us with your humor.
Here's Cottle on the keeper across the 40-yard line. A good pickup on 2nd down, but that will end the half. 21-7, West leads as we head to the break. You're watching Ohio High School football on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Welcome back into SOSA's coverage here of Minford at West. West currently with a 21-7 lead over the mighty Minford Falcons at the half. This is John Bruce stepping in for Dewey Daly at the half with Tim Daly. How you doing tonight, T?
Hey, this has been as good of an experience we've had. There's no question that West Portsmouth rolled out the welcome wagon and good hospitality and gave us access to everything. If you've never been down here before, this is the first time I've been on top of the press box. I have been to a game here before, but very similar settings to the Northwest, where you have that very country looking, although today we're actually looking at hills, and you can't tell. Of course, it's dark now, but the hills we were looking at are actually in Kentucky, and the Ohio River runs through here about a mile south of here. So great setting, and again, very similar if you're familiar with the Ross County area. Paint Valley's set up.
Yes.
Very, very similar. I mean, if you've never been there, I would highly encourage you, if you find yourself on a Friday night looking for something to do and Paint Valley's playing a home football game, go watch a game at Paint Valley.
Yep.
It's a great environment.
Yeah, I have not been to a football game down here. I've been to basketball and baseball, but I had not been to a football game. And I've heard it's really a great atmosphere. And just even when you're walking in, you hear it, it's called The Rock, but you don't realize there's a giant rock as you enter. And it really helps build the ambiance.
Well, I'm going to tell you the story because
I
I talked to Todd before the game. And if you turn around behind us and you see, first of all, this field is sitting where Raven Rock Speedway used to be. Okay, so if you look up on this very peak behind the hill, there's a peak up there, and they call it Raven's Peak, I believe. That rock came from there.
Really?
And of course, that's fashioned after Howard's Rock, which is the Clemson deal where they run down the hill. They touch the rock and run down the hill. So if you ask me, what a great tradition to start. And I've seen some other things around here. When you hear the PA guy say something about the wood pile and TNT, those are all
references to around here.
It's West Portsmouth's traditions. When you come here, now I can tell you, West Portsmouth, if you're not from West Portsmouth, anytime that you ever played West Portsmouth, you always they maybe sometimes weren't the most physically talented team you would play against that year, but certainly when you went to play them, and I'll just mention a couple of teams, Wellston has that reputation. West Portsmouth has that reputation. Even, in my opinion, Huntington Ross has that reputation. They might be a little short on talent, but you knew you were going to be in a physical battle when you went there. And again, some of these things, I'm sure the people in this area and the people of this community and school district look upon those things with great pride. And here's what I would tell you. Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? Those are great traditions to have.
Well, then I was on the phone as I was coming in, and I was talking about how beautiful this entire area is. They've got a little park it's clearly like a splash pad type place for kids in the area. They've got a lot of different activities for younger kids to do around here in the summer to keep them, occupied in a good way. And then the facilities here are, I would say an A+. It's just it's a really good atmosphere. The PA's very excited, but at the same time, it's a good brand of football. Obviously, they were 10-0 last year going into the playoffs, and then or undefeated in SOC play last year, and they're looking to do that again as they roll down, getting closer
to that Week 10 matchup with Wheelersburg.
Well, and even before the game, and I'm not sure if you were here yet, but we came up here and everything was unlocked, but the press box was locked. So I had to go back down. Of course, I've known Todd for 20 years, and I actually got to walk into the locker room to go chase him down and back through the locker room into the coaching office. I can tell you, their facilities are just as nice on the inside as they are on the outside. And I can tell you, I played in college, and our facilities weren't anything near what these guys have now. And I'm not saying that begrudgingly. I'm saying, anytime that you're given something to provide an experience, a worthwhile experience to a kid, that's where you reach deep into your pocket and give even give more than you have to give, because anytime you have an opportunity to invest in a kid's future, whether it be with your wallet or with your time, those are things that aren't given a second thought. Just that simple.
Yeah, it's that's what Dewey told me before the game about how great the locker room facility was, and you can see that the community puts a lot into the students, and the students, when they get done with school and then when they come back to the community, they're going to put more into the community as well.
Well, I can assure you this. When I played at Waverly in high school, we were in the SCOAL, having already just had been in the SOC. But we continued to play West Portsmouth as part of our non-league with Wheelersburg and a few of the other schools in the SOC, and then we played in the SCOAL. But these people here are generational type people. They stay here. They come back. It's a very passionate, loyal fan base. And again, I'll tell you this, sometimes with all that type of stuff, that's not always a positive thing here, but it seems to me to be here a very positive thing here for the people. And again, it creates the pride and the enthusiasm. And I can tell you, too, when you play, and Waverly is a lot like that. When I played at Waverly, I actually felt, and I really mean this, I felt it was my civic duty to play. And when I played, I really didn't play really almost even for myself. I played to represent not just the high school and the school district, but the community and the city as well. And I can tell you, I felt that responsibility, and I played every sport till they told me I couldn't play anymore. And I, every time I ever put on the orange and black of Waverly, I felt that. And even still, too, when I go, like when we were there last week there for the last, fourth quarter of that game, and we had done the Miami Trace game prior to that, I can tell you, for me, being involved in anything that revolves around Waverly athletics will always have a special little place in my heart. But there's a few other places that I feel that way as too, and some of them are places that I've coached. I coached at Minford for a year, so I mean I know what the Minford kids are kind of sort of like. I've coached at Chillicothe, I've coached at Unioda, I've coached at Waverly. I've been around, and a lot of those places, you'd be surprised till you get on the inside how special a place is and how the communities are really. And again, when I say community, that the core of the people seem to rotate based on the names or the last names of the kids that are involved. But again, then you have that special core of people that are, it never changes. It doesn't matter that their kid graduated 10 years ago. A guy like Mike Cox, who we all loved and respected and stuff, to me, he was the epitome of what a Unioda kid would be. There was a guy at Waverly, his name was Joe Rhodes. Joe Rhodes had a son that wasn't a very good athlete. But Joe Rhodes, and I don't say that disrespectfully, but I mean, he didn't contribute to any of the athletic programs. He participated, but he really wasn't a pivotal player, but yet Joe was the loyalest Waverly guy you ever met. He actually, for years and years and years, actually took care and maintained the field. Him and a guy by the name of Dick Deering, and that's not a paying position. But I can assure you, and the joke that he used to tell was Waverly used to have a big tiger in the middle of the field that he would paint freehand, and I watched him do it I'm starting when I was a kid at 8 years old, and he's still doing it when I was, 50, some years old. You know, now I'm 65.
Yeah.
Joe passed about maybe 10 years ago, but he used to laugh because he'd say, if you deserve it, come homecoming, he'll put a set of nuts on the tiger. And, I mean, he would actually do it. So, I mean, but those are the kind of guys that, to me, make a community what they are. And again, there's many other names that could be mentioned in some of the other communities that we've been in or that I've been involved with. But it's pretty easy to figure out who the special people are.
Yeah. So just kind of talking a little bit about that first half. You know, West comes out, gets a stop, and then quickly goes down and scores. Ends up going up 14-0. A big kickoff return set up. A Peyton Cottle 52-yard sprint to the house. West answers, scores, gets it to 21-7, and actually Minford was bailed out a little bit by an illegal man downfield.
Oh yeah, gave up another touchdown call back for sure.
Yeah, and it was would have been a 62-yard touchdown for Mason Parker, who, by my count, which is
he's went nuts.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of touches.
152 yards on the ground, 3 scores. That would have been his first catch for 62 yards, which would have been another score.
Which puts him over the deuce. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been mostly him. For the most part, for Minford, it wasn't just that one big run by Cottle, because he's at 125 yards now on 9 carries. I mean, he's had 3 big gashing runs, 54, 32, 19. He also had a 12-yard run in there. So, you know, he's doing a lot of it, but at the same time, that's kind of opening things up a little bit. Pika had a couple more holes. You know, I know you weren't super thrilled about the
fourth down.
Fourth and 3. Yeah.
No, you punt that football, and honestly, they end up paying the price for that because, let's face it, for probably somewhere late in the first, for probably 3/4 of the second, it was 14-7, and Minford had absolutely stopped. And I don't know that they were 3 and outs, but Portsmouth West got next to nothing.
Yeah.
So they end up going for the 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Pika comes up a yard short. They get the ball somewhere around the -40, and about 5 plays later, it's 21-7. And here's what I'm telling you: I don't understand sometimes. You know, there's a time to punt and there's a time to go for it. You shouldn't. I would always caution any younger coach or a coach at all, don't lose the game in the first half. I mean, don't make decisions that you end up paying in the second half for what you did in the first half. I think the safe thing there is to punt the ball and try to get them down around the 10-yard line. And let's face it, West Portsmouth's not high octane.
Right.
The Parker kids had how many carries? 20?
Let me count real quick.
As for you, Sue.
18 carries. So, I mean, he's got a buck and a half, but he's also carried the ball 18 times. So, I mean, he's clipping at about an 8 or 9 yard, average. But I'm saying he gave the ball 18 in an NFL game. That's a whole game for a running back is 18 carries. So I'm saying the safe thing, the percentage play would have been to play and kick and maybe get this in. And maybe if you steal one, maybe you go in at halftime 14-all, but at worst you go in 14-7. Now, the problem is they're going in 21-7.
And they don't get the ball.
No, they don't get the ball. And if West Portsmouth, you know, again, we talked about making it, taking it. It's not make it, take it. If West Portsmouth does again what they've done the last time, and they've created momentum by doing it, the last time they possessed the ball, that was probably their most effective drive, or very close to being as effective as the first drive was. So, you know, you go in at halftime, and West Portsmouth had gotten the better of the last 3-4 minutes of the quarter or the half, and now you got to kick it back to them without really having a possession yourself, and you could very easily find yourself on the wrong end of a 28-7 game, and that's a different deal. That might be a hill you can't get up.
Right. And, you know, one thing that's keeping Minford in it, I know we talked about the penalty that took the points off the board, but they have, West right now has 6 penalties, 55 yards. And not only did they get that touchdown taken off the board, but they had a hold right after it that put them way behind the sticks, so they had to punt.
Yeah, it just took their possession from them. And if you study, and we really put a good study on the Waverly West thing, and I would tell you that if West Portsmouth has one thing that you could complain about or to try to correct, and it is a correctable thing, is penalties.
Yes.
A lot of illegal procedures. And when I say illegal procedures, I'm not talking about guys jumping. I'm talking about guys lining up wrong. Guy doesn't get on the line, or a guy doesn't get off the line. And those are simple, correctable things. And again, those are things that you fix in practice. And if you've had injuries and you're moving kids around and whatever, I get it. But if not, those are first day type things. I mean, you walk out there, you're in third grade. They tell you, once you put your hand down, leave your hand down. You tell the wide receiver to always look at the official and tell him, I'm on, or I'm off. Those are things that to me are extremely correctable. But here we are, week 6, and we've seen a little bit of, not quite as much as we saw last week at Waverly, but we've seen a little bit more of that. So again, I always call that West sometimes is their own worst enemy.
Right.
They're defending themselves. And it's tough enough to win a high school football game, but to go out and do things where you're almost playing with 9 or whatever, playing to beat or doing things to harm your self-inflicted type wounds, those are avoidable, and the good teams don't do them.
Right.
The real good teams don't do them.
Now, West has 2 to 3 weeks. It depends if they play Oak Hill in week 9. They did their senior night tonight because that would be their next home game. But they have Valley next week at Valley, then at Northwest. Both games they're going to be heavy favorites.
Prohibitive favorites. Right?
Yeah, and then Oak Hill, they would be a heavy favorite in that if they do play that before Wheelersburg. So that's one of those things that not only can you work on in practice, but you can work on in games too.
And you said that was West or Minford? West.
Well,
I think they win all 3 of those
Well,
games.
yeah, and I mean.
And that makes them something in one.
That gives them, but to me, that gives them time in game to work on, hey, we got to cut these penalties out, because when you come to week 10, when you go to Wheelersburg, it's hard enough to win at Wheelersburg, but to do it with self-inflicted penalties.
And let's face it, traditionally, Wheelersburg is not a team that's going to beat themselves. So to go over and be successful against them, you're going to have to go over there and beat them straight up. And you're not going to be able to make those types of mistakes. But again, I'm not that familiar with Wheelersburg, but the tradition would tell you, in my opinion, that'll be a hill that'll be very, very steep for them. But they don't have to have, and again, we're not trying to look that far ahead.
Right.
They don't have to have that win to make it to the postseason, and they probably don't have to have that win to even maybe win a first-round game in the postseason. But not being able to win that game, maybe, and let's face it, nobody is saying that this team is as good as the team they had last year.
Right.
Dewey and I saw them twice, and the Sissel kid that plays at Marshall was the best player on the field, and I'm sure every game he played as a senior and maybe every game he played as a junior, because it's simple as this. When they're on offense, they turn around and gave him, and nobody could tackle him, and then they turned around and played defense, and he tackled everybody. So, I mean, the kid was a player, and that's why he's he's
at Marshall,
he's at a Group of 5 Division I football player. But you just have to. I just think that you. Sometimes I think too, some of those mistakes that we're talking about are created by trying to do too much. And I think if you simplify some of your packages and try to get better at a smaller package of things, I think you have a way better chance to try to eliminate those types of first-day type mistakes.
Yeah, and then just pulling up the Fantastic50.net, which is a great website for high school football. If you know joeidle.com, this goes even more in depth with computer simulations on what a team needs. And right now, for West, they would definitely be in at 8-2 or 7-2, whatever it ends up being if they play Oak Hill or not. But without a win against Wheelersburg, they would be somewhere in the 5-14 range. So they'll definitely be in. It just depends on if they get a home game or not.
Again, too, I'll say this as a coach and even as a fan, too. They have diluted the getting into the playoffs to the point where I'm not even sure that's even worth talking about. I honestly believe, and people will probably say you're out of your mind, I think till you've won a playoff game, you really haven't done very much.
Well,
And really and truly, maybe even 1-2 playoff games. Now you've done something. You've shown that you deserve to have a post-game deal. But here, my thing is this. If they're going to let 16 teams in, why not cut one more week out and let them all in like they do basketball and baseball? Now, they do that in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. Now, what happens? Well, you know what happens. Teams get bounced really early and that didn't deserve to be in there, and a couple weeks later you have the 4, 5, 6 teams in a district that really have earned or deserve to be in that. Because football, one thing about football is, honestly, compared to basketball or baseball, usually the best team wins.
Yes.
I mean, they really do. The best team, they may not win the way they should or by as many points as they should, but usually the best teams find a way to win. When you throw them all into the cookie dough, usually the best team will come out of that, whether it's Waverly or Wheelersburg or Elder or Moeller or whoever it is. The best teams will find a way out.
Yeah, and I don't think they put the extra time on that they normally do. They've put it at 12 minutes, so I'm going to turn it over to Dewey Daly back, as we're not going to be able to take our break. So here will be Dewey Daly with the second half. This has been John Bruce. Let's have a great second half.
There's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
This presentation of high school sports on Southern Ohio Sports Authority is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's. McDonald's proudly supports all area athletes again this season. Visit your local McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly, and be sure to check out SOSA's newly relaunched podcast, Overtime, presented by McDonald's.
Second half, just a few moments away here from the Rock in Portsmouth, Ohio. 21-7 lead after 2 quarters here in favor of the Senators. Some halftime scores from around the area. Late second quarter, Zane Trace 14-6 over Huntington. Second quarter, Paint Valley and Adena tied up at 35. McLean and Miami Trace tied 7-7 at the break. Tays Valley 14-0 over Circleville. Bloom Carroll 7-3 over Fairfield Union. Late second quarter, Waverly 35-7 over Oak Hill in the second quarter. Ironton 27-0 over Chesapeake late second quarter. Valley 7-0 leaders over Northwest. That game also in the second quarter. Fairland 21-7 leaders over Gallia at the half. And also late second quarter, Harvest Prep 26-3 over Wheelersburg.
Holy cow.
Miles Montgomery is on to kick it away for the Falcons. Big time is saved.
Senators set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Miles Montgomery
Time is back with you.
getting set up to boot it away. Mason Parker and Jeffrey Bishop, the 2 deep men for Portsmouth West.
I didn't realize that was Miles Montgomery, the basketball player. Because all he does is kick. He plays soccer, doesn't he? So he plays soccer and kicks. That kid's an athlete.
Here's Parker from his own 10-yard line to start off the second quarter. Parker has a seam up the middle past the 40-yard line. Flags are down around the tackle.
Out over the 40-yard line.
I think he grabbed his fence.
34 yards on the return. Penalty on the play.
Or he certainly had his hand around his head. Personal
foul, face mask, Falcons.
So that'll throw it closer to the 40, 41, 42.
To the run, and the Senators are in business.
Well, if you're West Portsmouth, that sets you up big time to drive a nail.
Penalty moves the Senators into Falcon territory. Ball spotted on the plus 42. Here's Tipton on the keeper on first down. Sheds the first tackler, but is brought down shortly after. No gain on first down for Tipton.
An absolutely great play by Blaine, the nose guard,
Tristan Miller in there, along with J.D.
who absolutely stopped Tipton from cutting back. I mean, there was a play there. And I'll guarantee you, he doesn't probably get a whole lot of chances to make a play, but he made a play right there.
Here's Bishop in motion. Here's Parker right up the middle. Barreling across the 40-yard line. Solid pickup on second down. Should bring up about a third down and medium for the Senators. Under 11 minutes to go in the third.
Again, with them being at the plus 38 now, chances are, again, this is 3 down or 4 down territory. Again, with the 3rd and 6, I don't think they have to get all of it to be able to roll the dice on 4th down. So look for them to still stay inside with the running game. 100%. Quarterback sweep.
Flanking more motion across the line of scrimmage. Here's Tipton, has a lead blocker, and Parker to the far sideline. Tipton across the 35-yard line, a couple yards shy of the line to gain. It'll bring up a 4th and short.
About 2 yards. Yeah, about 2 yards, but obviously a very manageable distance.
Gets close to a Senator first down. Brings up by 4th, and we'll call it 2.
Again, let's see if the formation can dictate the play here and see if we can figure it out.
Big thank you to Willie & Son Trucking, Parmar Stores,
Right
McDonald's,
Ice
and
Power.
Glockner family of dealerships for making our weekly live streams possible. Here's Parker on 4th down, has the first down across the 30-yard line and is brought down at the 29.
Mason prime time. Parker packing the pigskin, and another Senator first down.
I love this PA guy. No, I love this PA guy.
Getting after
Packing the
The
pigskin.
Falcons led by number 7.
prime time with the first down.
Yeah, wait till they get inside the red zone. It's called the Weaver red zone. He called it before or something.
Had the Richie's red zone last week.
Yeah, this is the Weaver red zone. Power again. Power
Tipton
keep.
on the keeper to the near side, cuts it back up the right hash, close to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 9 on first down for Parker. Check that for Tipton.
Again, play side linebacker overran the play, allowed him a little cutback, and he able to turn that into a solid 8 yards.
He gets the stop on that one, but he had some help.
Second down and 1 for West.
Picking up about 9.
Long one. 3 touchdowns for Parker in the first half. Here's the junior on second down and short across the 15. Another first down run for Mason Parker.
I mean, the kid's relentless, and they're giving. And I mean, if they create space, that even makes it worse.
Mason Parker coming together, and wow, that was a big one. First down, Senators.
They're in the red zone. Again, now they could run option out of this.
First down and 10.
Lead.
Here's Bishop to the far side. Cuts it up at the 10-yard line. The ball is loose, however. Parker right there to scoop it up. He's inside the 5.
What a great play by Parker.
Recovered by Primetime.
And then he advanced the ball probably 5 yards after he caught it.
Big time to prime time. Absolutely electric PA work here at the Rock.
No, I think this guy needs promoted.
Second down, Senators can still pick up a first down at the 2-yard line. We'll have a flag before the snap. It'll be a false start on the Senators. That'll push them back 5.
Left side, left guard, left tackle.
Second down and 6. The Senators.
Again, in a critical football game, in a situation like this, those things will kill you. Again, they've got a little bit of breathing room here, and with it being second down, again, that's not that hurtful. Again, with this type of success they've had here the last 2 times they've had the football, but those are the kind of things that keep coaches up at night.
Senators need the 2-yard line for the first down. Ball spotted on the 6. Parker straight ahead, just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, it's first down.
Should be good for a Senator first down.
Down to the goal line.
Goal to go from inside the 2.
And goal, Senators.
You want me to go out on a limb and say you think they're going to give the ball to Parker? John, what's he had? He's had to carry the ball 6 times this series, hasn't he? How many?
Senators out in the eye on goal to go. Tipton on the keeper, straight ahead. His first rushing touchdown of the night. Lead is now up to 20 for the Senators.
Imposing their will.
Holbrook, a perfect 3 for 3. This one is no good. It comes up just a bit shy of the crossbar to remain a 27-7 lead for the Senators. 6:35 remaining in quarter number 3. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health has to offer by visiting our website at sosaohio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's sosaohio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Second down, straight ahead. It's Parker across the 40-yard line. Will be brought down around the 37.
Again, that giving the ball to Parker seems to be a default setting for the West Portsmouth offense. And again, what we haven't seen much that we saw quite a bit in the Waverly game was them trying to get Tipton loose for some different things. And again, I keep bringing up the option.
Third down, here's Lohr, needs the 32-yard line, comes up well shy of the line to gain.
Owen Blaine on the stop.
4th and 5. Dewey, what do you got? See if the formation tells us anything.
Fourth down, Tipton on the keeper. He'll be brought down shy of the 35-yard line.
Brought down by Marty Sparks.
Marty Sparks in on the stop for the Falcons. A turnover on downs for West.
Falcons have held. They'll take over on downs.
Again, give Minford credit for going out and continuing to play hard.
Falcons take over on their own 36-yard line. First down and 10, whistle before the snap. It'll be a
Flag on the play.
penalty on the
Against
Senators.
the Senators. Offsides.
First down and 5 from the 41. Pika straight ahead has the first down. Brought down just shy of midfield.
Again, good, tough, hard run inside. Move the sticks.
Lower,
Minford going to a little bit of tempo here.
Under 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. It'll be Cottle on the keeper, trying to get to the far sideline. He's brought down in the backfield. A loss of 3 on first down for Cottle.
In the backfield. Finished off by Team Money.
Mason Parker and Hayden Loran on the tackle.
Loss of a couple on the
Sure that wasn't T-money. Again, that's the first time that really West Portsmouth has effectively stuffed the zone read or the quarterback keeper, because Cottle had nowhere to go.
Second down and 13, Cottle looks to throw under some pressure, firing over the middle of the field. It is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Prime time putting pressure on the quarterback.
Intended target was Keegan Rowe. He's slow to get up.
Well, and a wide receiver's nightmare is for you to have a ball thrown to you over the middle and be high, and you got to leave the ground. You got to leave your feet. That's just that's not the position you want to be in trying to catch a football.
Incompletion will bring up a third down and 13. 3:07 remaining here in the third quarter of play. 27-7 lead for West. 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 from Mason Parker, 1 from Cole Tipton.
Third down and long for the Falcons.
1 long 50-plus yard run from Peyton Cottle in the first half. Third down and 13, Cottle rolling to his left, firing to the near sideline. It is caught inside the 35. Caught by both players. We'll wait for the ruling.
Now 12.
First down.
That's Minford's ball.
J.D. Mattis comes up with the big grab on third and long.
And again, what made that play possible was Cottle having enough speed to get outside and buy time. Sure enough, he found his receiver just beyond the sticks and was able to make an accurate throw and a great catch.
21-yard pickup on the play from Cottle to Mattis. First and 10 from the 45. Check that from the 35. A lot of movement. False start on just about everybody but the center.
And a flag on the play.
For sure.
False start. Falcons.
Again, if you're coaching out there, those are painful, painful experiences. And those are momentum breakers.
Penalty moves the Falcons back 5. First down and 15, still inside the 40. Pika.
Pika, the ball carrier.
Short pickup on first down for the senior.
I think he ran into a wood pile. Or maybe
Eli Myers.
He maybe ran into the wood pile.
TNT. Cole Windsor throwing his body around. Bringing up second down and long.
2 yards picked up on the carry from Pika. Second down and 13, under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Cottle looks to throw, firing over the middle of the field. It's picked off, going the other way. Solomon Norman on the interception, returns just outside the 35.
Solomon Norman.
Yeah, an absolute great high point technique, high pointing the ball. And again, Minford probably going to the well one too many times. But again, the situation and the score dictate that a little bit. But here's West Portsmouth now with a little bit to go still in the third quarter. Here's an opportunity probably again to drive the first nail into the coffin.
Hey, the sensational Senators Marching Band will be hosting the 35th annual
Senators take over on their own 36. First and 10, 1:46 to go here in quarter number 3.
5 p.m.
First down, it's Lohr across the 40-yard line. TNT has a pickup of about 6.
Is Lohr TNT? He is. Well, usually it's Lohr. It's usually Lohr leading Parker. But that's Parker leading Lohr.
Sensational Senators are the hosts tomorrow right here at the Rock at 5 o'clock. Get out here, support our Sensational Senators Marching Band and many, many bands from across the tri-state. So it's a great thing. Come out and support us. Second down.
Is that not a penalty flag laying right there?
Second down and 4, a screen pass to the far sideline. It's Bishop outside the numbers, has the first down, just shy of midfield. Big time.
Again, big time with a serious freeze 'em move on the spot route. The Minford defender came flying up, and he just absolutely just froze him and was able to beat him outside for a first down, make it look easy.
6 games into the year, I'd be a little disappointed if I didn't have a nickname by now.
Especially if you played at West Portsmouth.
First and 10 from the 47, under a minute to go here in the third. Straight ahead, Parker across the 45-yard line, now into Falcon territory, just shy of the line to gain. First and short. Check
now
that second and short.
And now that begs the question, if that's the case and we're in week 6 and you're wearing the orange and black of West Portsmouth, what would your nickname be? Oh, I can think of a few, believe me. I might not be able to say half of them.
It'll be Lohr straight ahead. He's got the first down, needed the 43.
The ball carrier. He gets 2 and the Senator first down.
First down, Senators. Roughly an 8-second differential between the play and game clock, so that should take us to the end of the quarter. One or the final quarter of play, 27-7 lead for the Senators with 1 to play. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
At Ohio Health, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing Ohio Health provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finest care.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
27-7 lead for the Senators as we enter the final quarter of play. Quick note, although not very local to either of these schools, more local to Chillicothe and the SVC area, Adena Paint Valley, 50-35 lead for the Bearcats at the half, 85 points in just one half.
Well, I think they better contact the Dina local, because there's going to be some kids collapsing in the second half. Is that game at Paint Valley?
Not sure.
Because I can understand that playing on the turf. It's at Adina. Oh my God, that's like playing on blacktop. That's a very
I have to
tough
make sure
field.
Shane's down there checking on his kids.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, back to West Portsmouth, 27-7 leaders. Tipped it on. The keeper has a ton of real estate to the near sideline. He's pushed out of bounds right around the 30-yard line.
And
forced out by Peyton Cottle.
And again, a play by Mr. Big Time there, who got an original block and then laid off of him. And was smart enough to lay off of him because he lost him under. And once you lose them under, they're gone. You go on to the next. Of course, he stood and watched, but I mean, at least he laid off of him.
First down, it'll be Bishop to the right side. Able to outrun the first tackler when we brought down inside the 25-yard line. Pickup of about 5 or 6 yards for Bishop.
And again, I'm starting to see signs of kind of a tired Minford defense that just is tired of chasing these guys. And you know, it hasn't been so much Parker of late, but they got a serious heavy dose of Parker, followed up by a good dose of Mr. TNT, and then big
time and prime time.
Big time has sprung it on him a few times too.
Falcon down after the play. No worries. Looks to be cramps on the far sideline. 50-35.
Well, let's figure it out.
That's incredible.
That's 5. That's 8. That is 13 touchdowns.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Has to be. So 49 would give you 7, and 35 gives you 5.
12.
Oh, 12. What'd I say? 13. Yeah, 12.
One off, not too bad.
Yeah. So Paint Valley must have went for 2 one time.
Well, it was 35-35 late second quarter. So you tack on 15, so that's obviously a PAT plus a 2-point conversion or a safety.
Yeah.
A lot of ways to get 2 points. I say that, there's really only 2, but.
Yeah. Well.
It gets worse. I believe week 1, Notre Dame beat Manchester like 78-0. And Manchester, the only SHAC school with an official OHSAA-affiliated football team. A couple others have club teams. I believe Fayetteville and Eastern Brown both have club teams. I'm not sure exactly who they play throughout the year, but teams nonetheless.
Honestly, probably YMCAs.
I've heard of YMCA basketball. Not sure YMCA football, tackle football that is, maybe YMCA flag. Second down and 4 here for the Senators. Inside the Falcon 25. It'll be Lohr straight ahead. Not a whole lot of real estate between the tackles for TNT. That'll bring up third down and short.
And again, just a simple, that time, inside lead, where they lead with one running back and run it in behind the other. They ran that play, honestly, probably that's been a third of their offense this evening. Mr. Friel just hit a 2-run homer, and the Reds lead 5-4 in the 6th. So they must have been down.
Third down and short. It's Parker straight ahead. Appears to be short of the line to gain. Senators needing the Falcon 20-yard line.
And again, a no doubt fourth down situation. But again, a very extended fourth down at 4th and 3. Let's see if West comes up with something a little bit different. But again, would I be surprised if they went back to Mr. Parker? I don't think this is a recipe for Mr. TNT.
4th down and 3. Parker has the first down to the far sideline, inside the 10. First down run for Mason Parker. Now over 200 yards on the night.
Marty Sparks on the stop. First down, Senators now into the Coleman Landscaping and Lawn Care red zone.
Coleman Landscaping Lawn Care red zone. Bishop to the near side, cuts it back up the left hash and is brought down shy of the 5-yard line.
Again, you can see that Bishop doesn't quite have the speed to be able to duck in and duck out, but very smart with and he's a very efficient runner.
Apologies for any internet issues going on with the live stream, currently running on a iPhone hotspot. Here's Bishop in motion. He'll take the sweep to the near pylon, diving for the end zone, and will be pushed out of bounds just shy.
Knocked out of bounds at around the 2-yard line.
Marked down at the 2.
Again, and the clock just keeps ticking and ticking and ticking. It's just a slow, physical bludgeoning.
Here's Tipton on the keeper, diving across the goal line. Touchdown, Senators.
Touchdown, Senators.
2-yard rushing touchdown for Cole Tipton. 33-7 lead for the Senators. 8:56 to go in quarter number 4. Holbrook on for the point after. Hold is down from Tipton as Holbrook splits the uprights. 34-7. Lead for West with 8:56 to go in the 4th. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
2-yard rushing touchdown from Cole Tipton, his 2nd of the night. PAT from Holbrook was good, 34-7. Lead for the Senators. Holbrook to boot it away. This one gets away from Book. It'll be returned from his own 4-yard line, now outside the 10, and will be brought down right at his own 15.
Again, if you're Minford here, I'm not sure exactly what they will attempt to do, but again, not the way you want to start a drive if you're Minford, but again, they'll probably stay fairly close to their game plan, and obviously the clock has become, a problem, but their biggest problem is they just haven't been able to keep West Portsmouth out of the end zone.
15-yard line.
Falcons out in the eye, 1st down and 10 from their own 15. Pika stood up at the line of scrimmage. He'll be brought down inside the 15.
Jacob Tipton having a big night.
Jacob Tipton in on the stop. Here's Pika on second down across the 15-yard line, bounces it out to the numbers to the right side and across the 20. Falcons need the 25 for the first down, should bring up about a 3rd down and 5.
Again, to me, a little bit of a concession if you're Minford,
Remember, please,
because obviously those aren't the type of plays that are going to get you back into this football game. But again, it's a good way to work on a few things and try to get out of here healthy.
Same formation for the Falcons. Pika
on the carry.
on 3rd down will come up
He didn't make it.
about a yard shy.
Well, he's not a yard shy. Oh, yeah, he is where they marked it, he is. And if you're Minford here, what do you do, Dewey?
Brings up a 4th down for the Falcons.
Falcons will leave the offense on the field. 4th down and 1, ball spotted at the 24. They need the 25. Under 7 minutes to go in the final quarter of play. Timeout. Minford. Their first of the half.
Every time they get in a 4th down situation, the first time they called timeout and punted. The second time they called timeout is when they got stopped. So obviously this is the 3rd time. I don't know what the confusion is. Hey,
Oh, man.
you didn't see. So what's the difference?
Did not.
I'm just telling you, what's out of bounds tonight is no ginger ale. That can't be. No cream soda. That can't fly.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1. Falcons need the 25-yard line.
And again, this play isn't critical to the outcome of the game, but again, if you're Minford, you may be able to build something. No, they're punting, Dewey, which I think is the wise thing to do.
Pika to boot it away. Nobody back deep for the Senators. This one will roll inside the West 40-yard line and be downed right at the 38.
Well,
First
now,
down and 10 Senators.
And I think this is important, not tonight and in this game, but here's an opportunity for West Portsmouth to demonstrate or work on what we call, or I call, the 4-minute drive. They're looking at making a couple of first downs. This drive or this possession is going to be measured by how much of that 6.5 minutes can they take away. Now the goal is obviously to take about at least 4 minutes off of that clock, and that basically translates to 2 first downs. You know, if they make 3 first downs, the game's over. But you want to be able to take 4 minutes off that clock. Now, they don't need to be successful with this possession tonight to win a game. But in a 1-point game or a 1-possession game right now, that would be extremely important. Because right now, what you're doing is essentially you're playing defense with your offense.
Coach Gilliland takes his first time out of the half.
Well, you know why he took a timeout? You got a whole nother set of guys out there. So obviously he's not going to do anything about what I talked about. But again, at 34-7, that's not that big of a deal, but he's turned it into a reserve game. And I'm looking now at Minford, and I can't tell quite if those are clean shirts or not.
Tipton still at quarterback. The handoff is across the 40-yard line.
Braden Atkins, the ball
That's
carrier.
Braden Atkins, the ball carrier. 5'3", 120 pounds, only a freshman. Under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th.
Is he a freshman? Is that kid yeah, that explains all of it. Matter of fact, both those kids, neither one of them very big.
penalty down before the snap. A false start on the Senators. That'll push them back 5. Bring up 2nd down and 12.
And my guess, Tipton is in there simply because they don't have a serviceable, Dog Jabot give up a run. They don't have a serviceable quarterback to put in there.
Tipton will hand it off. This is Atkins on 2nd down and 12. He's past the original line of scrimmage, close to the Senator 40-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play by the freshman. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Hey, we want to wish Dean Rapp a happy birthday today. Happy birthday, Dean Rapp.
I wonder if Montgomery has ever done anything for them other than just kick. Probably not. But boy, could he be a good running back or a good wideout or a good DB.
Toss to the outside. It's Atkins. He's brought down in the backfield at the 35-yard line. Senators will be forced to punt for what I believe is only the 2nd time tonight.
Well, again, they took a couple of minutes off the clock. Of course, you're going to get that anyway with running 3 plays, and then Minford's certainly not going to call timeouts, but unable to make a first down. In fact, they give up about 3 yards, so with 4th and 13, they'll kick it away.
Parker back on the field to boot it away for the Senators, end over end to the near sideline and out of bounds.
36.
Ball spotted at the 36.
Around the 36-yard line.
And I'm going to be very suspicious that Minford will put a less than varsity team out there for this last 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
Timeout, Minford.
Timeout, Falcons.
And I'm sure, again, that's probably to make sure they're covered at all the positions and whatever to be able to get that. They certainly aren't trying to set up any type of strategy. Again, they're just making sure that they've got people in the right spots and they've got all the bases covered.
Hillsborough Chillicothe's tied at 17. Wellston 42, River Valley 12. Valley 7, Northwest 6. Ironton 48, Chesapeake 0. Eastern 43, East 14. Cold Grove 6, Portsmouth 0. No score. Waverly 56, Oak Hill 7. 28-28, Gallia and Fairland.
28-28. Fairland and Gallia tied back up after Fairland led 21-7 at the half. One of our big games to watch this past week on SOSA Overtime presented by McDonald's. Falcons will keep it on the ground on 1st down across the 35-yard line. New personnel in for the Falcons.
Well, I'm fairly certain that you have 22 new players on the field right now.
Curtis Glenn in at quarterback for the Falcons. Here's Keegan Rowe on 2nd down, stuffed at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards into the backfield.
Boone Sparks and Evan Stiles teaming up with Austin Evans. A loss of 3 on the play. -2 officially.
Rowe loses 3 yards on the carry, 3rd down and 8. Glenn on the keeper. He'll toss it to the near sideline. It's complete across midfield and into Senator territory. Ethan Swick on the grab for the Falcons.
Micah Barnes on the stop.
Again, something that we haven't seen at the varsity level was a little RPO.
First down, straight ahead, it's Rowe. He's brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12 from the 47. Once again, big thank you to the athletic department here at Portsmouth West for providing a great pregame meal for us here at SOSA.
You didn't hear any complaints from any of our guys, did we?
Mouths were full.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. It's Rose straight ahead once again.
Austin Evans laying the lumber.
Brought down for a loss of 1. 3rd down and long coming up for the Falcons.
If you look around here at facilities and the whatnot, you know, to have experienced any less or expect any less wouldn't have fit in with the other things that we were able to experience here tonight.
Here's Glenn on the keeper to the far sideline, makes the first man miss, but is eventually brought down about 3 yards past the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and 7 coming up for the Falcons. Now under a minute to play.
4th down.
Fourth and 7, a low snap. Glenn jumping around, but is taken down in the backfield. That'll be a turnover on downs for the Falcons. Senators take over with less than 40 seconds to go. Ball spotted at the 48. Check that, the 43.
3-second difference. So they have to take 1 snap. And again, Laura, they put Laura back in. Well, Tipton's in there too.
Timeout, Minford, their final timeout of the half. Our 3rd trip down here. I know West not technically in Portsmouth, although I think close enough to consider it a trip to Portsmouth. 3 trips for Portsmouth, 3 trips to Portsmouth for us here in the first 6 weeks. Trip to the Trojan Coliseum that Thursday night in week 1. Week 4, I believe it was, the trip to Spartan Municipal Stadium, Eastern and Notre Dame, and now week 6, trip down here to West.
Well, we want to congratulate our seniors tonight. Jeffrey Bishop, number 18, Reese Coleman, number 49, Trevor Fike, number 1, Jack Holbrook, number 17.
34-7 will be our final from the Rock. The Senators advance to 5-1 on the season, remain undefeated at 3-0 in the SOC2. Minford, their 2nd loss of the year, they fall to 3-2, their first loss within the league, now at 2-1. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
There's not a Par Mar store near you now. There will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
This presentation of high school sports on Southern Ohio Sports Authority is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's. McDonald's proudly supports all area athletes again this season. Visit your local McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly, and be sure to check out SOSA's newly relaunched podcast, Overtime, presented by McDonald's.
34-7, West comes out victorious in Week 6, still undefeated within the SOC2. Statistically speaking, for the Senators, Cole Tipton, 3 of 4 passing for 31 yards, had 10 carries for 33 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jeffrey Bishop also 9 totes for 47 yards, and Mason Parker 26 for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. For the Falcons, Peyton Cottle 3 of 8 for 30 yards, had 10 carries for 122 yards and a touchdown, so the really strong efficiency for Cottle on the ground remains true in Week 6. Jeff Pika, 13 carries for 39 yards. A 34-7 final. Great night here in West Portsmouth.
Well, I just think that West Portsmouth got off to a pretty good start and was able to continue that. There was a little bit of a lull there, late in the first and pretty much the first half of the second quarter, but they were able to get a couple things put together right before halftime, and they were able to continue to do that in the second half. But if you were here, a very dominant type of performance by the Portsmouth West Senators.
Both teams on the road next week. Minford will travel to Waverly, and West will take a trip to Lucasville to take on the Valley Indians. Two great complexes, Waverly and Valley. I don't know if you've ever been
Never have
to
been
Valley.
to Valley.
A great complex down there in Lucasville. Live stream last year there against Northwest. Had them a bit earlier this year at Portsmouth, but no live stream scheduled for Lucasville. 34-7 is our final. Check back next week, where I believe we will be at Logan Elm as the Braves collide with the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs in Week 7. Both teams still undefeated in the MSL. I think Bloom Carroll dropping their Week 1 matchup to Harvest Prep, who was up big on Wheelersburg at the break. Once again, the final, 34-7. Portsmouth takes it and advances to 5-1 on the season. Dewey and Tim Daly along with you tonight. Glad to have you with us. We'll see you next week. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.